Watson is a man who would give up his own life for a whale. He has made it his life's mission to protect marine animals who cannot protect themselves. For more than 35 years, Paul Watson, captain of the Sea Shepherd, has been a global leader in protecting marine life. Through his work, he is seeking to end the destruction of habitat and slaughter of wildlife in the world's oceans in order to conserve and protect ecosystems and species. Since birth, Paul has been connected to animals and drawn to the ocean. Paul Watson was born in Toronto, Canada on December 2, 1950, and spent most of his childhood living with his family in the lobster fishing town of St. Andrews by the Sea in New Brunswick. Paul began advocating for and protecting animals early in his childhood. At the age of 9, after trappers killed one of his beaver friends, Watson set out to confiscate and destroy leg hold traps. Soon after, he joined a local animal welfare club in New Brunswick, called the Kindness Club. He was also known to disrupt deer and duck hunters and to prevent other boys from shooting birds. As Paul grew older, his love of the ocean continued. In 1968, he joined the Canadian Coast Guard. Paul Watson spent 2 years serving with the Coast Guard, and during his time, he gained a vast amount of experience about the sea. He weathered typhoons in the South China Sea, sailed through the North Atlantic storms, in the iceberg-strewn northern latitudes of the Atlantic, and navigated the war zones of the Persian Gulf. Watson claims he never made a conscious decision to be an activist, that it was just something he grew up with. In 1969, he made that transition from Navy officer to activist when he joined Greenpeace. It was at Greenpeace where Watson began in his work fighting to protect whales. Watson and several other activists organized the first campaign by Greenpeace to oppose whaling. Watson and his shipmates were the first people to put their lives on the line to protect whales when Watson placed his inflatable boat between a Russian harpoon vessel and a pod of defenseless sperm whales. During his time at Greenpeace, Paul met international movie star Brigitte Bardot. He asked her to join him in the campaign to oppose the seal hunt off the coast of Labrador. Brigitte's presence brought international attention to the campaign, and Watson and his friends at Greenpeace were able to successfully stop the seal slaughter that year. In 1977, Watson left the Greenpeace Foundation because he saw a global need for an organization that would enforce laws protecting marine wildlife. To answer that need, Watson founded the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society, dedicated to research, investigation, and enforcement of laws, treaties, resolutions, and regulations established to protect marine wildlife worldwide. This move is the beginning of his legacy. In December 1978, Watson purchased the first vessel used by the Sea Shepherd to enforce marine laws. The purchase was financed with the support of the Cleveland Armory and the Fund for Animals. The Sea Shepherd Conservation Society has focused most of its campaigns on stopping commercial whaling. Japan was heavily involved in commercial whaling during the 20th century until the International Whaling Commission issued a freeze on commercial whaling in 1986. Japan has continued to hunt whales using a scientific research provision in the agreement. While the Japanese claim that they are conducting research, the whale meat from these scientific whale hunts is being sold in shops and restaurants. Over the next 3 decades, Paul Watson builds an army to fight illegal whale hunters with the support of wealthy benefactors, celebrities, and politicians who believe in Paul's mission and leadership. He is able to grow his fleet of ships to fight the poachers. Bob Barker, a popular TV game show host and animal lover, once asked Captain Paul Watson how much money he needed to stop illegal whaling. Paul told him $5 million, and Bob replied, "I think you do have the skills to do that, and I have $5 million, so let's get it on." With Barker's funds, Watson purchased a vessel which he named the Bob Barker. The Barker was given the Sea Shepherd's signature black paint job and secretly dispatched to the Southern Oceans, flying a Norwegian flag. That trick was to fool the Japanese fleet into allowing the boat to get close. When they neared the Japanese fleet, the crew lowered Norway's flag and raised the Jolly Roger flag of the Sea Shepherd. In 2008, the Sea Shepherd partnered with Terry Irwin, the widow of animal conservationist Steve Irwin. Watson renamed one of his best vessels the Steve Irwin, to honor him and his work protecting animals. The Steve Irwin played a key role in the Antarctic whale defense campaign. Whales have always been in Steve's heart, and in 2006, he was investigating the possibility of joining the Sea Shepherd on part of its journey to defend these beautiful animals, Terry said. The latest weapon against the Japanese whalers in the fight to end illegal whaling is a $2 million ship funded by the producer of the Simpsons television series, Sam Simon. This vessel was purchased in secret from the Japanese government. This purchase brings the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society's fleet to 4, just one vessel smaller than Japan's whaling fleet. Today, the Sea Shepherd Army consists of 4 ships, 1 helicopter, drones, and more than 120 volunteer crew from around the world, who are ready to defend whales from illegal operations of the Japanese whaling fleet. The Sea Shepherd has gone on to end the careers of 9 illegal whaling vessels, saving thousands of whales. These campaigns and other Sea Shepherd efforts have kept the issue of whaling in the international spotlight for the past 30 years. This year, the Sea Shepherd celebrated the biggest victory yet against illegal whaling. In a stunning victory for the whales, the United Nations International Court of Justice announced their decision in the case of Australia versus Japan, ruling that Japan's whaling program in the Antarctic is not for scientific purposes and ordering that all whaling activists stop. The news was celebrated by the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society, who years has directly intervened against Japanese whalers in the Southern Ocean. Despite these successes, Paul Watson is not finished protecting marine life. He continues to lead Sea Shepherd campaigns to protect defenseless marine wildlife around the world.